This very well may be the most important video you've ever seen when it comes to bowling.
All right, so we're gonna throw a couple shots here. And you can see I got the new laser going. Look how much further inside that was. But if you pay attention in slow motion here, you can see that the ball actually hits the target at the arrows. It's directly in between the laser pointer there. So it's online as far as where the targeting goes, but it started too far inside and created this. So now when we readjust, you'll notice this one actually stays in line the entire way, all the way through the laser lines to the exact same spot at the arrows. It's in the same position as what the other one was. The difference is the launch angle. So now the launch angle is a little bit better on this one, which then gets it to go through the pins a whole lot better. Now, the reason we're talking about this is because it is important on how you start that is causing your launch angles to be either too open or too closed. So this second one you can see was a whole lot better. So the way we got to this was I went to practice and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take this laser with me. I'm going to test it out before I start shipping these things out. So I took it and started working with it on my own and got it lined up in a spot. And I'm like, okay, I want to see, like, I got the camera set up so I could kind of watch back. And when I threw that first shot, I'm like, okay, that was a pretty good shot. I saw it go through the arrows. But most people, you don't see your angle through the front part of the lane. You don't see it very well because your eyes really don't pick up the ball until almost the arrows. So I went back and watched that and I was like, whoa, that was 2 or 3 left in the front part of the lane, which caused my angle to be steeper through that part. And sure, it got to the pocket, but it lost too much rotation and you saw it 710. So I couldn't figure out exactly, like, how in the world is that possible? I threw a couple more shots and it was the same thing. Even when I looked further right, all I did was just miss the target at the arrows further right, which told me, damn, I'm lining up improperly again. Because I had this issue a couple of years back where I was already lining up too far left for what I was trying to play. And I thought I corrected it because now I got it down to where, my angles felt better, but clearly they weren't right. So I've always had this issue, or at least I've had this issue over the last couple of years of feeling like I'm just inconsistent at the bottom. And this makes an awful lot of sense because if I'm lining up too far left and trying to play, and I'm trying to play a specific angle, but I'm lining up too far left, my body knows I'm out of whack. And so my body's trying to adjust for being out of position. So I'm either catching it a little bit more or squeezing it or holding on to it too long or whatever it may be, trying to adjust for me being lined up improperly. So this whole thing caused me to videotape a couple of more shots and start adjusting my footwork, like where I'm standing. I actually had to start 2 more further right in order to finish where I need to finish to put the line on the correct trajectory. So now in my mind, I feel like I'm super closed off. Like, man, this doesn't look right because I'm so used to being a couple of boards further left. And if you know the math, for every 1 board left you go, your ball's going to travel 2 more boards to the right. So if I was 2 boards off, that means I was 4 total boards off down lane throughout the entire lane, which is a lot. And now my body's trying to adjust for that by making the ball do different things, by making my hand do different things. And that's where I'm noticing the inconsistencies at the bottom of the swing. One hangs up, one falls off, because my body's not in the correct position to be able to softly let the ball go in the right direction. Most people have no idea how bad their alignment is. Case in point, this guy. I was not even close to lined up properly, but I've done that for a while, so I had no idea. So this is really important for you to go and record yourself and watch where you're setting that ball down and where you're trying to get yourself going. Like, really actually go into practice focusing on your angles. And this tool that I use, this laser tool, it will be available again. I sold out of them immediately. I did a 75 pre-order on them, and they sold out pretty much within a couple of days. I'm going to make some more available once those 75 ship. I will have those shipped next week, and then I will reintroduce another batch of these double lasers so you can get yours and be able to use them for this. But I didn't even make these for the intentions of this per se, but I'm so glad I went and used it today because now, with 2 weeks left going to the World Series, this was like mind blowing to me. Like actually knowing where the ball was going to go every time, and seeing the same ball roll every time, and not just blaming it on, oh, my thumb doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel right. No, if your physical game is not lined up properly, if you don't have everything in sync, you're in big trouble. So be on the lookout for these. Appreciate y'all. Maybe I'll do another pre-order for the next 50 or so, and we'll get you guys taken care of on those. So be on the lookout on the website. You can see a link in my bio, or if you're on YouTube right now, you'll have a link in the description down below. Head over to 10pendoctors.com, and you can see everything we have available there. Also, the Monster release trainers. This one doesn't have the bearings in it, but these sold out, and so I've held off on them. But I do have a wait list going. If you go over to 10pendoctors.com and be able to get on the wait list for the next batch that gets released. Those will also probably release next week. So lots of cool new stuff coming. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you learned something from this video as much as I did. This was the best practice day I've had in years. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of months.